Oh no. Oh no. It's already come back to bite me. I decided that I wouldn't fight them, and here they are. Here they are to tell me off for not murdering them all. This is an absolute disaster. Okay, hang on. Let me put some stuff away, and then I'll deal with them in a second. Okay, I've dumped my inventory. I've had a nap, and I can hear them outside. They're around here somewhere. I've only got my wooden sword and my trusty golden chestplate on, but I do have a shield, so I think we're gonna be okay. Gonna bait him in. Bait him in. Ooh, there he is. Ooh. Shield up. There we go. He wasted a shot. Oh no, he got one through. There we go. Okay, let's not head to a village for a short while, but let's just plonk this outside so that they know not to mess with me in the future. Or I will kill every last one of you. Anyway, existential threats to civilization aside, we've got a couple of things I would like to get done today. Number one, we have a little farmstead here, and it's not huge. And we also have a lot of pumpkins. So I'd like to extend the farm down here, probably have another little layer of it. Maybe I'll do that wheat, or maybe it'll be a pumpkin farm. Not fully decided yet. Furthermore, I'm not entirely sold on this side of the house, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a windmill, because obviously farm, windmill, they go together like two peas in a pod, or in this case, a farm structure and a farm. But before I can do that, we need to get a few things ticked off our bucket list. So, we don't really have the building blocks to build any of this. I'm going to have to upgrade this house to look a little bit nicer. And we're also going to have to build the whole windmill, which is going to take a whole lot more resources. So we're going to go down to the mines. We're going to gather some deep slate. Hopefully we're going to gather some more ores. And we'll go cut down some more trees. And hopefully we can get that all done this episode. And it won't take too long. Though before I go, I should probably make one of these. Okay, I'm actually going into the mines now. I swear. Oh, and I'm back from my mining expedition. It wasn't the longest session ever. And, well, our loot chest isn't looking the most decorated it could possibly be, but we do have 6 diamonds, and while I was in the process, I managed to get myself a couple of stacks of cobbled deep slate. I think there might be some pillagers still, sticking around out here. Yes, there is. Clearly the sign hasn't worked. Maybe it actually just made him angry. That is definitely a possibility. But I also got a little bit distracted, and as you may have seen, I got myself a pair of sheep and a cow. And now the cow is particularly useful because I can go here and I can make myself one of these, and I can get rid of bad omens. So if I want to go see my neighbour villagers, I'm not going to get them all slaughtered in cold blood now, which is, well, some would consider a benefit. And what happened here? Oh well. But yeah, I'm now going to go and, well, chop down some trees, and I don't think you need another tree cutting montage, so I think I'll just cut to that. I chopped some wood. I think it's high time that I expand my farm, so we're going to add an extra layer to this wall, and we're going to bring it around here. So I think it's time we do a little time lapse for you guys. And with that, we have a whole new little segment to our field. So we've got this kind of ugly pumpkin patch. I'm hoping when that's grown, it'll look a little bit more put together. If it doesn't, then I'll probably change it, because I'm not crazy on how it looks at the moment. But that's just because of, you should really put a block in between where they're going to grow, because otherwise they're going to destroy your farmland, and it can't stay farmland, blah, 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 blah. Let's share the boy. We need his wool for the windmill's arms. But yeah, I think this is a nice little expansion to our farm. So let's have a quick nap, and then we'll think about getting a start on redoing the top part of this house. And last episode, I implied that I would do that with calcite, but I have a new, slightly easier to obtain plan. Now, you see, calcite's good and all. It's very, very bright in its color, and that color is obviously white. However, not only is the very bright white not really the vibe of the house, it's also much, much harder to obtain than my new plan, which is white stained terracotta. So I'm going to gather up some clay, and then that's what's going to go on the top story of our house. White terracotta obtained, and now we're going to just take out this stone and replace it with our white terracotta. And we're not going to have to do this on the other side, because that is all getting torn up when we build our extension windmill thing. And fingers crossed, that should already have helped this side of the base so much. And it's a little bit better. Okay, it's not crazy better, but there's more I want to do. And frankly, I'm not crazy that the bottom floor is made out of stone in the slightest. And I think it's time I swap it for wood. So let's also get on that. I think this kind of a design is going to look a lot better if I put this on all of the sides of the building. So that's not going to take too long, so I don't really think it's worth a time lapse. So I'll just cut to that being done. Okay, so we've changed all of the walls that need changing, and I think that really helps bring the place alive. There's just a little bit more color in it, and if you look at it from over here, I think just because the wall was stone, it really just melded in, and now it pops. You know, it's definitely its own thing. And I think once we've got our windmill here on the side, obviously, still got stone here, so you can compare and contrast the two styles if you want. Then I think it's going to look great. I'm also going to move these animals out back here. I'm going to wall them in, probably with a mixture of cobblestone, smooth stone, and andesite walls. And also, I've installed a button on my door. No, it was just there for decoration. It just so happens to be really goofy when you press it. However, this one is both functional and kind of looks okay. So maybe I'll leave that one there, and then that makes getting in and out of the house just that little bit easier. So yeah. I'm really, really happy with this little renovation we've done, and our farm is coming along quite nicely. So the next step is, and I'm a little bit nervous to get on with this one, actually starting work on the windmill. I don't have too many plans for how this thing's gonna look. I've kind of got some reference images up, and I'm gonna try and take bits and pieces from each of them, and fingers crossed we end up with something that looks pretty nice off the side. So yeah, I think it's time-lapse time. And with that, I think we're pretty much done with this little extension to our build. So it's, not the biggest windmill in the universe. It kind of just turned out to be an extra bit of the house, but I'm really, really happy with how this thing came out. I think the back needs a little something extra, maybe a bit sticking out back here, but we can do that in the future. As it stands, I'm going to extend this animal farm so it doesn't look like a little blob sticking out the back like that. That was just a temporary thing because I didn't know what I was going to be doing with it. But yeah, I am so unbelievably happy with this base. So next thing we have to do, I guess, is come up with some form of interior for this thing. Okay, so a quick interior thrown up, and you may be wondering, what's interior? Well, I've not really done the downstairs justice yet. We got a couple flowers in here, and we got a couple chests, and I'm gonna add a lot more chests over here, and I think I'm gonna add, so the reason I left this wall so plain is I think I'm gonna add like a little horse shelter on the other side, and maybe there'll be a door to go through to there. We can put some more hay bales in there, and when I say more hay bales, you'll see why in a second. This is also going to be a little storagey area, but I might convert it over to a kitchen at some point, I think. Hello, friends. And if we head upstairs, we have a little hay-like storage room. Obviously, this is a windmill, so this is kind of the grain room. Realistically, it would go down to the ground floor and we'd have a grindy stone thing, but we, well, there's not a lot of space in here. What? The cow got louder when I went into third person there. And if we climb up the windmill, we also have a hayloft with only one bale of hay at the moment, but we'll get more in there and it'll feel a little bit more full. And then we have this little area up here. This is probably going to be like a mix between like a vibe room. I'll put a jukebox up here and we'll have some storage, and maybe I'll also bring some villagers up here at some point and I can kind of wall them in here, and we can use that as a tiny little villager trading hall. And last but not least, I have my little bedroom which looks over the mountain that we're set up underneath. Obviously got my little bed chest. Apparently I put white wool and white dye in there, so sure. But yeah, that's the house at the moment. I definitely think it still needs work. I think we need to add some kind of extension to the backside, some kind of barn on that flat wall over there. But compared to what it looked like at the start of this episode, it has come leaps and bounds, and so I am absolutely thrilled to say we've got so much done on the base this episode. We can start working towards getting to the nether and maybe looking at getting some blaze rods ready for maybe even finding the end portal. Not too far from here. We want to get that checked off the bucket list quite quick, but yeah, I think this has gone very well today. So if you have enjoyed watching, please leave a like, a comment, and or subscribe. And I've just noticed that my game sounds are off, so you wouldn't have heard that cow that I brought up earlier. Sorry about that. That is my bad. That'll be remedied for next episode. Don't worry. It was on earlier, I think. But yeah, please leave a like, comment, and or subscribe, and I will see you in the future.